It's forecasted rain, and we had a little visit this morning from the gamekeeper's wife. She came, took a photograph of the tent, and she was very chatty. She sort of mentioned, I could invite you to a nice warm shower and a bed. Michelle's just letting the air out. And I thought we were in for an offer, but she said, because of the COVID. She was very sweet, but she didn't, I think walking in another time, we'd have got more invites to nice things like that. She's out there with her red flag. They're doing shooting today. And a big orange flag, like a glowing flag. Suddenly a dog brushed against the tent. We're in the middle of nowhere. And she said, she was sweet. She was from Northumbria or somewhere. She had a sort of slightly Geordie accent. But she said she was the gamekeeper's wife. And I think she wanted to help us, but felt she couldn't in some ways. And probably she's got work to do. They've got a shoot on today, apparently. So they're all out there. Beaters, I think they've said, were beaters beating the birds out, and people were shooting birds. She even sort of offered to bring game to us, but nothing seemed to go beyond sort of chat, which was a shame. Maybe on a less sort of wet and miserable day, we might have got out the tent and had a bit more of a chat, and she might have done, but that's as our luck is. Michelle is packing away. We've managed to pack both the bags, and then somehow we're going to sort of collapse the tent and do a sort of reverse packing of the tent. We've never done that before, but we need to get going. It's getting close to 10 o'clock now, and we really want to get some walking, but it's going to be hard because we've got to cross this farmer's field that we actually came across to get to this pitch. And yesterday was nice and dry, but today I think it's going to be boggy and muddy. Wish us luck. It's going to be a hard day today, one of the hardest days. We may even cross into England today. It might be an unsalubrious crossing.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
So keeping it real, we've packed up. This is our sort of lumpy ground. You probably can't see how lumpy it is, but it's okay. Once the tent's on, it sort of evens itself out unless there's any major lumps. We're going to be wet today. There's nothing we can do about it. We're not made of paper. We're not actually going to melt in any way, but it's probably going to be a bit uncomfortable. So we just have to...
And you're probably not going to do much filming either.
Not much filming today. We just need to do the miles. We need to try to get to Burness or Byness. Okay, bye. But the mud, which was dry yesterday, is now clodding to our shoes big time. And we've still got half a field to cover. And Michelle is closely following in my footprints.
Through here, isn't it?
No, I think it was more obvious. I hope it was more obvious. We've got to find our exit into the woods. There's not many options, so we have to be careful that we don't pass it. Hey, who wants to do Land's End to John O'Groats, or who wants to do John O'Groats to Land's End with us next year? The same time of year. I think that's our way through, Michelle.
I think so, yeah.
Or maybe the second one up.
So it's drier up here, the mud.
It is a little drier. It's a different colour as well.
Yeah.
I think we came through that way, or possibly you stay there. I'm bringing half the field with me. We possibly came through this way. There's a bit... Does that look good that way? Yes, this is the way. I remember the ditch.
Okay.
That's all the filming you're getting today, you lot. You can laugh all you like. We've got to go through the nettles and the brambles and not fall down this ditch. This time, Michelle, I'm going to step quite wide over it.
Half the field in the stick.
Okay.
I've got half the field in
Oh, I
the
know. Mud on our sticks.
So
Just do a step over it a little. Oh, and we're back into this beautiful, dry and perfectly pathed woodland.
your feet.
Hey?
I think mine not too bad. Your feet are more cloddy than mine.
I know, because I was picking up first clods. First clods. So, we're lucky. We're back on the open pathway. What a day. And we live streamed this morning. Just to Aren't we good? Aren't we mad? Oh, Michelle, what are we doing?
It's not too bad. I don't find, you know, that weather, that rain wasn't too bad in the field.
No, we did it. We managed it quite well.
I think it's not as heavy as it has been at some times. I'm sure it will get worse.
Oh, these brambles, careful these brambles don't grab hold of your feet. They're pretty sharp. Cut my feet yesterday on the brambles. Okay, we're almost back on the Roman
Deer Street.
Deer Street.
Deer Street.
Now that truly is the last of the filming you're getting today.
Unless it dries up.
Unless the sun comes out or something really spectacular happens. So we're back on our lovely road. We made it. Would you believe it?
Follow this way for 900 meters.
Oh, it's madness today. It's possibly one of our wetter days. Not the wettest, I would say, but one of our wetter days. The worst weather for walking in because your shoes never dry out. And it can cause blisters if you don't pay attention to it. But everything is soaked up to the edge of our ponchos, and it's not super heavy rain, but it's constant rain. Everything's wet, and every pathway is a stream or a rivulet of water. And I said to Michelle, maybe we should do something we haven't done yet on this journey. Stop in an hour or so and try and build a fire and dry our feet out and with the bottom of our trouser legs. Might even be able to dry out no, I was going to say the outside of our tent, but that'll just get wet again. There's a sort of double whammy that the gamekeeper's wife, who came and said hello this morning, took a photo of our tent and was quite chatty and friendly, dangled the idea that she might have invited us in for a warm bed and a shower, but she couldn't because of the COVID. Don't say it. If you can't offer it, all I can think of now is this bloody COVID and what it's doing to everybody, and how we might have been right now having a hot meal and a warm shower. I've come to the conclusion as I trudge through these puddles that Michelle and I must be made of pretty stern stuff, because I don't know any other fools that would do this. She's way ahead of me. She's way ahead of me. We had to pack up in the rain today and we're all wet, but we're happy. We are so wet, miserable. And cold. It's cold. We've come off the road into a farmer's barn and we're just drenched. Everything's soaking. Our ponchos are working, but there's, when it's just endless rain, it all gets through eventually, and you just end up damp and cold. So we zipped off the bottom of our trousers to let them dry off, if they'll dry off, and we'll probably make a brew or something soon, but I don't think either one of us at the moment can be bothered to move, can we? It's too cold. So we've made up quite a little home. Michelle's doing a little bit of housework. In the laundry. We've got the kitchen. Steve's in his kitchen doing a little bit of cooking. We've filtered water from the leaking drain pipes through the Sawyer water system. we're just boiling it up. Still a little bit cold, but tolerable. And we think if it carries on raining, we don't get any bother here. Just the other side of these hay bales is a bit of grass. It's a little bit wet, but you know, who cares? A little bit of wet. We've had a lot more. Cannot believe today, Michelle. It's beautiful.
After yesterday.
We've had one of our worst walking days so far yesterday. And even now we're drying out really. Everything's just damp. Shoes are damp. We got soaked. And to add insult to injury, we couldn't walk, so we had to stop in the rain. And it was a long night because it started so early. And now, because we had to eat more of our supplies, we've actually got to walk back nearly 5 miles to get more supplies before we can walk back again 5 miles, so almost a full day's walking in this beautiful weather, which could have crossed into England today and got onto the Pennine Way, but we've really scuttled it. We should have crossed over yesterday, but the rain ruined that opportunity. And now we're doing something we really hate to do, which is walking backwards. It's going to be about a 10-mile loop, so a good part of the day's walking, and we won't even probably get into England today. So, but it's just 2 days behind. Very frustrating. And to add to that, we're even contemplating stopping and rejuvenating ourselves a bit in a hotel in Jeddah. But that's not a given as it is yet. It's been a frustrating 24 hours, hasn't it, Michelle?
Yes, very frustrating.
How do you feel? Summarise it.
Yesterday was a very down day. Very wet, cold. Couldn't get warm even when we stopped.
Turn right.
Very long night, as you said. And then, you know, we had all sorts of plans. We would go to a hotel and dry off and everything. But this morning, sun's shining, so makes you feel a bit better. A bit fed up with having to walk backwards.
Yeah, the fact the sun's out, this is a perfect walking day for us. And we had the Cheviot Hills to go over yesterday, which we could cross today if we were going the right way. But it's a logistics thing. Unfortunately, again, because of the way this walk goes, the next town that we get to on the English side of the border hasn't even got a post office, never mind a shop. And so it's 2 days walk before we would be able to get to a place where we can supply. And because we got hammered in the rain yesterday, we had to eat extra and drink extra. So we're just a little low on supplies. We really haven't got enough. We probably just about could get across the border, but then we would be out of food completely. So the only option we have now is to walk backwards. And it's a hard day. It's a blow to us. Is it day 43?
44.
44? Day 44. We've got to knock off some days for rest days, obviously. Probably about our 36th, 37th day of walking. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I don't think there's anything to see here. You guys take care. How beautiful that a couple let us come in their house and they've made us chocolate biscuits and coffee. So lucky. And they let us have a shower. They've taken pity on us because we got caught in the rain yesterday. There's Simon and Alison. Thank you, guys. So we're so blessed today because Simon and Alison, we passed your home and you gave us, I don't know, so much.
So much, yes.
You dropped us off at the shops, you've given us coffee, let us have a shower, we feel fresh. Thank you very much.
We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure. All right.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's superb.
Safe onwards.
Thank you very much, Alison.
Thank you.
So that is Simon from Simon and Alison. What a lovely couple. We got caught in that rain yesterday, and Simon, we were heading back on ourselves to Jedburgh, a town we weren't going to be visiting, to get some provisions. And Simon and his wife were lovely. They picked us up, they took us into Jedburgh, helped us get our provisions, gave us a shower and a fresh cup of coffee, and dropped us back up on the trail. So we're back on Deer Street. We're eternally grateful to them.
We've got directions, we know where we're going.
We know where we are. We're on a familiar path. It could get a bit boggy today because of the heavy rains we had yesterday. But as I've always said, Michelle and I, we're not made out of paper. We can do it. We feel fresh, refreshed, and we're a little weighted down again.
The bags are a little heavy.
The bags are a little heavy with water and provisions and chocolate and pasties and sausage rolls and crisps, all sorts of things that we shouldn't have really got. But because we didn't have to do all the way back into Jedburgh and all the way back out to Deer Street, we felt we could treat ourselves a little bit. Yeah, it makes such a difference. It's made a difference to us mentally. It's made a huge difference to us, hasn't it, Michelle?
Absolutely.
Mentally, it means so much to people to get help occasionally on these walks, even the smallest help. And in this instance, they even let us shower and gave us fresh coffee. Doesn't get better than that. Even recharged our phones a little bit while we were there. So big thank you again. Can't thank them enough, really. There he is, Simon, on his way back to the lovely Alison, and still giving advice to some other people that want to hike. So we're powering up this hill, and I think these are the Cheviots, which are a range of hills or mountains that run across the borders. At this part anyway, I'm guessing they run between Scotland and England. Oh, a bit of pathway up ahead. You won't even see it, but we've walked in only 10 or 15 minutes from way down in that valley. It's potentially because of yesterday's perpetual rain, it could get boggy, but I think on these hillsides it'll be more streams and streamlets. It'll only be the flat land that'll get boggy. And when we get to the top here, we're going to afford ourselves a rest and some breakfast. It's a fair old climb again, but it's beautiful. Just get rid of that cloud, Michelle, so we can have the sun. I'll take a closer picture of that on my phone, but the circular enclosure down there, I can't see it marked on the OS maps, but it looks quite important, as if it was maybe Roman or Celtic, who knows. Oh, it's beautiful up here. It's a shame the sun's gone, but we could camp pretty much anywhere here if we had to, but we've got to do at least 2 or 3 hours walking today, get ourselves back on schedule from the rain yesterday. Beautiful landscape. Can't even see it in the distance, that walled sheepfold. Look at this. That's what it's about when you get out in the country. This is the best walking. Could be a bit warmer, but it's still good walk. I'd say that our pathway has not seen a lot of feet of late, compared to the road that went off up that way. Still, everything's very wet underground from that awful rain yesterday. Even these high, steep bits are boggy. You can't probably see, but if you just look on my feet there, you can see it's all water. It gets deep occasionally. This is definitely sheep country. This is not meant for man. Surely. Oh, I hope this is the top of our hill. Simon did say quite a lot of downhill walking up to a point. At the moment, the last hour or so, it's been sort of fairly constant uphill. But look where we are. Oh, we've walked a long way again today. But now I can see, I'll turn this off, it's more uphill. Even the sheep are looking up at us as if to say, what on earth are you doing up there? Amazing. What do you think you're doing down there? The round stonework further back there was actually a sheepfold. I thought it might be Roman or something, but just a lowly sheepfold, but very beautiful. Oh, wow, we're back out in the wilderness, you know. This is absolutely Scotland and England at its best. Oh, it's pretty steep here, look. That would normally worry Michelle, but she's getting better. It's a long way down, but it's a beautiful view. And go on, sunshine. Break through. Warm us a little bit. Here, bikes.
Bikes or quads?
I think it's more off-road. You can't see them above us. But I think it's more than likely lads on off-road bikes. We've been walking along, well, we've been able to see this fence for quite a long time now. There's a signpost. I just wonder if this is the Scottish-English border rather than a stock fence, because it should be near. It should be near, and we look as if we're going to cross something. We're going to go through a gate. It may be just saying we're on the right route, but we have been expecting to see a border crossing of some sort for quite a long time. Could that be Scotland? And well, we can't really see it. Can that be England?
English access legislation is different from that in Scotland. Please keep to way-marked footpaths and rights of way unless you see the access land sign, which indicates that walkers are free to roam.
Do you know what? I think this is the English border. Public bridle way, Blindburn, Pennine Way, restricted byway, Chew Green, Pennine Way, public bridle way, Lamb Hill. Chew Green is 1 mile, and I think, so get your passport out, Michelle. Crossing from Scotland.
I want to see what the sign says. Okay.
But this is Northumberland National Park, so it's definitely England, you know. What's he say?
It says the section of Deer Street from Towford to the border is a scheduled ancient monument, and as such is protected under the ancient monument and archaeological area.
So we've been walking along this fence for a while now, and it's the border between England and Scotland. And Michelle just came through this gate, and we're in
England!
We're in England.
We made it!
Thank you, Scotland. You've been lovely. And even more so, we're 1 mile, or we're on the Pennine. No, I think we're on the Pennine Way.
We are.
We're on the Pennine Way. How about that? Crossing into England was pretty unceremonious. A little fence. Please lock the gate behind you. Well, there you go. How the weather has changed on us. We're wet, it's windy, and it's horrible again, and has been for an hour or so. I don't know what the rules are for bikes on the Pennine Way. We heard a couple of off-road bikes. They've obviously got hobnails, or I think they've got nails in their tyres, and there are 2 of them by the looks of it. We heard them scrambling up ahead of us, so they are churning up lots of the walkway of the Pennine Way, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to be out here. It's a bit of a shame because, you know, it makes it harder then for us hikers to walk the Pennine Way. There are parts of the Pennine Way that are designed for bridle ways for horses, for bikes, so they really should be on there, but you can see how they chew up. There's the second one just there, how they chew up the ground, and they're quite often the sole cause of all these big holes in the walkways that then fill up with water and make it very hard to navigate. They might be allowed up here. I kind of wish they weren't, to be honest. They also were scaring the sheep. The sheep were running off across the mountain as they came. At first I thought it was a farmer rounding up the sheep, but it wasn't. It was just some people on trail bikes. People say the northern part of the Pennine Ways is boggy, wet, and disgusting. Well, I must disagree. Well, no, I mustn't disagree. It's boggy, it's wet, and it's pretty disgusting. But we're feeling fit. And despite our soggy sandals, Michelle and I are powering through this rain. And the endless water courses that keep challenging us along the route. So, Pennine Way, the alternative windy gale, Pennine Way to Burness, 4 miles. Wow, apparently we only did half a mile, Michelle. 3/4. Okay. Now, quite often people, I think, once you reach Burness and the top section of the Pennine Ways above Burness is meant to be the worst section, which is where we are now. Maybe below Burness it means it's better. I doubt it. We got to cross this bog again. Oh, got a foot full. We're like a pair of drowned rats. If anyone came out and saw us, if anyone came and saw us, there's no one else out here. There's no one. We haven't seen anyone on the Pennine Way today.
Nope.
They're all at home, wrapped up in their blankets, watching television. Which is where we should be, really. Do you think I'll be setting any fashion trends, Michelle?
I think so.
What are we going to do here? A little jump to there, maybe? Oh, yeah, I think that just about works, if you can make it. Oh, beautiful. My phone made a ring, which means there's one of those rare bits of signal. We haven't had a lot of signal out here either. So, but at least we have plenty of food. So we could stay up here for probably a week, maybe a month, and just survive off of biscuits and cheese and ham sandwiches. Oh, this looks like a tricky one. I think it's a high one, Michelle. I'll go and look at the low section. I don't think there's anything. I think we've probably got to go up there. Yeah, well, this is pretty disgusting. Oh, hang on. Unless... unless people are getting round here, which is possible, but I suspect that is pretty unpleasant. Ooh, let us try. Ooh, yes, just about over to that.
That was a bit of a wave.
Oh God.
It's alright, it's raining anyway.
We're wet, as I say, we're not made of paper, we can't get any wetter than we are. Yesterday we were wetter, perhaps, and more miserable. Technically, there's probably no reason we shouldn't be feeling pretty miserable today, but I think the day has been a little kinder to us overall, and our spirits are high. Yesterday we woke in the rain, and it just never broke all day and all night. So count your small blessings. My mother always says Buddha's bowl will provide. Well, where are you now, Buddha?
Just stop the rain for an hour.
Get your bowl out and scoop up some of this water and give us a break from the rain. We've had more rain this week than I've had in my whole life. Will you look at this, the state of this? I mean, to be honest, we've had one day of rain, so you can't blame it all on the rain. There's a path over there that just ends in a quagmire of swamp, and it is quite ridiculous. Look at the pathway. Oh, what's the point in that? Honestly.
Couldn't even get through the gate.
No, the gate was impossible. People have broken down the fence to get over it because they cannot, and it's not because of the last day. Oh, that is not good.
And we got to go up near the fence.
Probably. Woo. I mean, will you look at this? Look at this. Oh, Scotland, come back, everything is redeemed. The English cannot look after the Pennine Way. Make it remotely accessible. What on earth? You see, that is probably a bike. Cut that up. Maybe water, but again, this is probably off-road bikers. But you have to tell me what that's about. No, that hasn't happened because of this week's rain. Look. Oh, what is wrong with these governments? They can't even look after a walkway. You know, we saw of just how well the cross-border Drovers Way was cared for in that section. Not all of it. But what is wrong? I mean, the Pennine Way is the #1 hiking route, the most iconic hiking route in the whole of the United Kingdom, possibly England at least. And they make romantic, the BBC make romantic documentaries about it. Romantic. The Pennine Way, enchanted backbone of England. What does this say? I have no idea. Pennine Path, anyway, if you can read it, I haven't time. It's not quite what you'd envisage, is it? This is something that who's that English politician that always sponsors around on the trains? Hey, you know, he'd be coming across here with a copy of Wainwright's book, you know, sort of, you know, folded in his hand, and a pipe with a bit of tobacco in it, and there'd be a whole camera crew up here somewhere with a caravan and a chopper to take him back to his hotel. And it's not the Pennine Way that we envisage. But then again, I've had this packet of crisps. God, I'm really wish I hadn't bought them in the last store. I don't feel like crisps. I'm dragging the things along with me, and they're going to appear in every shot today because I can't eat them. And Michelle's got a packet too, and we both wonder why we got them. Anyway, onwards and upwards. The Pennine Way. Insert romantic slot here. There aren't many people that could do this walk. Not many people that could do this walk in these conditions. Not coming off the back of a 500-mile walk. John O'Groats it, that's for sure. She's amazing. Most amazing girl in the world. There's a cairn up here. We've been walking uphill for 3 hours, I reckon. Oh, and we're ringing. But does the cairn mean no more climbing? Is it the highest point? Can you even hear me in this wind? There is no way. These paths are hopeless. Cairn is a pile of bloody stones. It means nothing to me at the moment. So I'm going to leave my bag there and climb back out because this is too hard for Michelle. When you've got stretches like this, which are frankly dangerous. I mean, this is, you can do this with a sensible climbing gear, but with a 15-17 kilo pack,